What's up, y'all? I'm here with the wonderful Marco Paul.
Hey, what up?
Thank you, sir. We're in his, I'm going to say lab, but we're in his setting where he creates, which is
the lab. It's the lab.
It's the lab.
Yeah.
I've seen Marco on the street over the years. You know, I've seen him passing, and he's always so humble with this nice smile on his face, like the world is okay. And he's just going. He's always you always get this feel. Always got this feel that you were just doing something. But I never knew you were really a designer. And I found out recently that he was a designer, and I asked him if he would come on the series and speak with me. We spoke on the train and light rail last Saturday. Man, so much about you, Marco. Just tell us a little bit about this idea that you're an artist. You're an artist, and how you love to create through your design.
I'm an artist. I consider myself. I'm a designer, I guess, to the world, but in my mind, I'm an artist.
I love it. I love that. To the world, but you're truly an artist.
Yeah, I'm truly an artist. This is an art form. It's a way of expressing myself, but I do it through clothing instead of through a medium of paint. So I do it through clothing. A lot of my fabrics and stuff that I deal with is printed. So print has movement. So therefore, I'm an artist because I'm creating a canvas on the body. So, yeah. That's it.
And I love the idea you told me that you didn't go to school for this.
No. Self-taught, taught by God. That's my destiny, who I was supposed to be. I've learned everything I know. I've become well-known. I'm not world-known yet, but I'm well-known. But definitely moving forward, building my brand, always constantly creating, always constantly learning more about my craft and trying to understand the whole idea of who I am as a fashion designer and artist.
So you're just telling me, even as you're still trying to find that place.
I think I found the place, but it's always about finding more and learning more about myself and how far I can stretch my abilities, how far my mind can go, how far this can take me. And it's always a learning process. I think you never stop learning. You've got to continue to learn. And there's always something new and something fresh to do.
When you say your mind, you're saying be more creative?
Be more creative, be more open to change, more open to accepting that what might be my aesthetic, sometimes it changes because the world is changing, so therefore the way the world and the way things around you move, you kind of got to move with it too, but still stay true to my aesthetic, but still find how to integrate that with the rest of the world and what's going on around me. So, yeah.
And that's the true artist. The true artist is not following the pattern.
No.
The true artist is creating.
Right. It's always about creating. It's always about me understanding what I want you to see. What I want you to put out. I have clients who got very strict where they want to be, but I always give them a piece of me. You got people who are very contrived. Everything is this way. I like it this way. But you got to sometimes push people boundaries, push people out of their box, make them feel like there's something more than just the norm or your norm.
And do they like when you do that?
Yeah, they embrace it because they trust me. It's a trust issue. So once you trust someone, you can kind of, people can do whatever you want when you earn their trust.
And you're coming up on your second anniversary. Well, yeah. 2 months, right?
2 months, December 6th.
That's great.
Wow. Yeah, 2 months to the day, yeah.
It's almost 2 years that he's been here on Halsey Street. Right. How's that journey been?
Oh, the journey's been great. It gets better and better every year, and now that it's becoming a little more gentrified, a little more. I hate to say the word gentrified, but it is gentrified.
What's your word? What's your word?
Because it's becoming. I'm gonna say it's starting to breathe again. Therefore, because there's a lot of difference, there's a lot of change going on, and therefore with change comes progression. I see things I didn't see before, and now I'm experiencing different energies of people, and it's helping me with my work and figure out where I want to be and what I'm trying to do with my my art.
Again, there's always a shifting
Right.
based on the energies,
Right.
not the environment, but
Right.
the energies, and the artist looks and feels that. Is that more intuitive? Is that more intuitive, or is that more mental?
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's a combination of both. You know, you got the mental because it's right there, intuitive because you have to feed off the things. You know, you got to feel the vibe and know that where you're at, you feel that you're in the right place. You know. Yeah.
And when do your ideas come? Do your ideas come like you dream and you get a new idea, or you walk through a park?
It can come from anywhere. It can come from just
anytime.
Anytime. Someone can say something that could spark something. Someone can have something on their shirt or button or a leaf can fall off a tree. Like, it just depends on...
A leaf can fall off a tree?
Yeah, you know, it's about the movement. And, you know, a leaf can fall off the tree. It could be like the brown. Like, I love that brown. I should try to do something brown. Or that orange, you know. Anything. It's just, you know, art, I mean... You know, the imagination runs wild. You can see, you know, if you're a visionary, you can see things in anything. And I think I'm somewhat of a visionary because I have a vision and I know where I want to go. So, and I don't limit myself.
No, you are a visionary.
So I don't limit myself in where I take my clothes, where I take my work. I do it. I do what I feel. I don't conform to the trend. I do exactly what I feel. If it's on trend, great. If it's not, that's fine too.
Has that always been your way?
Yeah, always. I've always walked to be my own one. I've always. So I felt that was, you know, my biggest critique to people when I'm interviewed by anybody or asked about what's the last words you leave someone. Stay true to your aesthetic. Stay true to yourself. If you don't believe it, no one else is going to believe it. There's no, you can say people believe it, but if you don't believe it, it will fade if you don't believe it. It'll fade faster. You know, so I just believe everything that I do.
So what is the strength that when you were raised, when you were a child? What was the strength that gave you this kind of? I mean, because I'm listening to you, and I wish I could take the essence that you have and place it in some people and stamp it in some. What kind of environment were you in that? Or was it?
I grew up in the hood. I grew up, you know. I grew up, you know. I grew up in the hood, but I've always been a family person, and you know, family builds character. That's first of all. Secondly, I've always wanted to be an individual. I never felt like I want to be like anybody else. I never feel like I need to fit in for you to like me. You either like me or you don't like me. And, you know, my mother used to say something to me a long time ago when I was a child, and I think that stuck with me, too. That kind of built who I was as a person and as an artist. My mother used to go to me, like, if I said someone say something crazy or, you know, people didn't like me, she'd go right at you, ask like 3 questions. Do they feed you? Do they put a roof over your head?
That's good.
Do they clothe you?
That's good.
And I say no. She said, who does? She said, you do. And that's all you need to worry about is me. And, you know, and the only word you need to worry about to say something about you is me. And from that, I ran with that, and I ran hard with it. And it's been my mantra forever that if you ain't taking care of me, if you're not helping me achieve something else or getting me to the next level of my life, then your opinion, I'll take it, but it don't really count. Especially if it doesn't take me to where I need to be, then therefore it's mute because if you're not giving me nothing positive to move me to the next level of my life. Your critique, your comments, your negativity means absolutely nothing to me. Absolutely.
I can see why you're so strong. That's a very powerful spiritual concept. You know, it's not in the spiritual element, right, but it's a powerful spiritual concept. Because if you live in that space, then you're protected. Right. You see what I'm saying? Mentally?
Right.
So, yeah, okay, I can see that. And what else? Was there anything else? I mean, did you do any special things like...
No.
You never started cutting like when you were 3 years old?
I've always been interested in how things work. I used to watch my great-grandmother make quilts. And I think I was fascinated by that. And I used to take things apart and put it back together. So, and I just innately, I was always a designer. Always.
When did that start?
That was forever. I can say about since I was like 4 or 5.
Wow.
That was forever. I've always know that it was in me. I didn't know what it was. It was just, I think I was more mimicking my great-grandmother than anything, not really realizing that was my destiny. It was just mimicking, because I was intrigued by how, they made quilts and things and all that stuff. So it was all about, watching the generation that had to make their own clothes and had to make their own quilts and all that stuff. Do things with my great aunts and all that stuff. Back then you had to make things because they didn't have the money to go out and buy the fancy dresses and all that stuff, so they made them themselves. But I didn't realize that honestly, I didn't really realize that till maybe like 2 years ago.
That was such a big impression.
Yeah, because I was talking to my one of my great aunts, and we were just talking, because my family just really get the gist of that, who I am, kind of, sort of, or coming to the realization that I am bigger than.
They don't know the impact.
No, they don't know the impact because I'm not. Because my name is Marco Hall. That is my real birth given name. But in North Carolina, where I'm from, my family only knows me as Mike. They don't know Marco Hall. They don't know that part of me. But now they do through social media. But before that, they never knew anything about me because when I go home to visit my family, I keep my life very separate. I keep the designer, that person separate. I go home to zen out, to regroup, to get the love, to get the energy that I want, family. I don't go there to talk about my work. I don't go there to talk about anything that I do in New York City, New Jersey, New York area. I don't talk about none of that. You ask about it, and it's a new subject.
That's a very good point that other artists should know, and that is most of us have to go have that place where we can energize,
right.
Revamp,
right.
A safe space right. where we can. We see all the great religious leaders did that.
Right.
They had a place where they could go, re-energize themselves, come back, right. do the work,
right.
focus on the work. Right. So you have some strong spiritual elements
right.
that have. You haven't even talked about religion or belief system.
Because I don't talk about it because I'm not. I know there's a being that guides me that.
Yes.
Takes me where I need to be. I mean, I call him God.
I hear that in your language.
And when I call him everything else, I just, there is definitely someone, whatever you choose to believe in, that guides me. And it is giving me a gift. Again, I'm self-taught. Everything I know is through him. So, therefore, everything I get, everything I create, I create things that people who went to school still can't create.
Oh.
And I have accolades that people who went to school and who got years on me still haven't achieved, who still haven't even got there, probably won't ever get there. But it's not a brag. It's just that
it's a fact.
It's a fact, and I've been given something and I utilize it.
And you connected to your creator, to your God. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
So, it's about, again, it's just all about knowing your space. And I know my space. I know who I am. It took a minute. It kind of took a minute for me to realize.
Talk about that minute. That minute translates into 2-3 years,
right.
4 or 5 years, 10 years, what?
Well, it's still taking me a minute to realize the impact I have in the fashion world. Be it be big or small, I'm still amazed by some of the accolades I have. I'm still amazed by that people see me in a light that I don't see myself. In my mind, I'm just Marco. And when I go into certain venues and certain places, I am larger than life. And I'm going, really? Like really? That's like, okay, that's what you want. That's what you have. That's what you see. But my mind is that I'm just an artist. I'm creating. And that's what I was put here to do, to create. If you like it, great. If you don't, great. But it's what I was here to do. I put here to do, and that's what I do. I create. And it's not for everyone, but so far everyone likes it. So, they do. And they appreciate the art. And I try to stay very focused, on what I do, my art, what I do, how I work, how I move, who moves with me, who don't move with me. It's about having the right circle, write the movie with you and all that good stuff.
So just tell me a little bit about some of those artists that have influenced you. You were talking to me about some artists that really they do. You told me Prince, or they do.
Well, they just like just I guess you talk about other designers that I gravitated to. I've always loved Issey Miyake. He's been my all-time favorite since I got into the game of fashion. I love designer Charles Rocarucci. He's the first American couturier ever. Of course, we know you love the Alexander McQueen and all that, but those are people. And Gaultier, I've always loved Gaultier too. Those are three that I really like. Been like my mantra, because they've all done what they wanted to do, and they've done it in the art form. It's been a kind of artistic form of way of doing stuff that they didn't succumb to what people thought they should do. Sorry. Yeah, so but it's all, that's who I really like. And
Do they know you?
Charles Rocarucci might know of me, and I say that because I've worked in his presence. I've worked for him kind of sort of indirectly. But I'm sure they will.
They will.
They will. They will know me. They will know me. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of circumstance. Everything happens when it's supposed to be. Everything is set in this place.
And so, just share with us, because I saw the interview at your event, your opening. Share with us some of the people that have that wear your clothing.
Oh wow! Let's see.
Because when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, wow, awesome."
My very dear friend, Ntozake Shange, the writer for Color Girls, Natalie Cole, Gabby Douglas Gold Medalist, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, Alicia Keys, Rihanna, Martha Wash, Tiffany Fox. Let's see, who else in here? Willow Smith, Ali Lohan, Lizzie Lohan's sister, Lauryn Hill, Sherry Shepherd, Whoopi Goldberg,
and the list goes on and on.
and Patricia Fields, the movie Sex and the City, the movie Color Girls. Let's see. There's a list.
That's awesome.
There's a list.
And you're in Newark, New Jersey.
Angelica Fox. I gotta put about her. She always treats me right. Angelica Fox.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Marco, just thanks. I appreciate
welcome.
it. Anything you need to tell the artist community that you want to share that maybe can help them a tidbit?
Well, I said it earlier and I said it again. Stay true to your aesthetic. Believe in what you see, and don't worry about what someone else sees, because people will see it. When you believe it, they'll see it and they'll understand it more than you think. Just stay true to your aesthetic. Don't be swayed by the trend. Be swayed by your heart, because that's where it comes from. And if you stay right there, believe me, the world will see it and they will embrace it quicker than you trying to follow someone else's path. So,
last question: can the artists recreate the world?
I'm sure they could.
Well, you've recreated your world.
Well, yeah, I've definitely created my world. As an artist, you create your own world, and you invite people in.
Yes.
And you hope when they come in, they see the world differently. They walk out seeing something different. So if we all, I think as artists, if we unite, if enough of us unite to bring a forefront of just individuality, creativity, acknowledge that there is greatness in just being involved in creating yourself, self-expression, expression of love, expression of anything, some type of expression, then maybe we all realize that we don't have to follow someone else to be somebody. We can be a world full of many people doing many different things and just enjoying living your true self and your true life. So.
That's powerful. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.